Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We are back. We have Dr. Raftab with us. He's a microbiologist, and we were just talking about all the benefits that we could have by fasting. So, doctor, I do have a few other questions. So, how does fasting impact our sleep? And would it be considered a fasting period if we're sleeping at that time?
Well, sleep is very important for health. First, I must emphasize that sleep is important, and according to World Health Organization recommendation, we should go for sleep like for 6 to 8 hours. That's very important. And if you go for like sleep less than 6 hours, that's danger for our health. So maybe sometime we have another program on sleep. So that's
Sure.
one of my favorite topic. And but I think one thing I must share with you, like some of the people, if they come to me and ask me what is the formula for success,
Yes.
and answer will surprise you. I always ask them, go and get enough sleep.
Oh.
That's the formula for your success. So sleep is very, very important for our health.
Hmm.
And as today we are actually discussing about the fasting and the sleep.
Yes.
And the research says that if you go for fasting,
Hmm.
then you can have better sleep as well. So
Okay.
we can have, if you like, some people are facing the problem of not getting enough sleep or
Hmm.
insomnia. That's a common problem in the modern era.
Yeah.
So we can fight that problem as well if
By
we
fasting.
go towards fasting. So fasting is very, very important as well. So the center I have mentioned, like in Russia and in Germany, they are also treating the diseases related to sleep disorder
Hmm.
by like going towards the fasting. So fasting is also another very important thing, that is like you can treat the diseases by the fasting. Is like we have so many autoimmune diseases that's also
Hmm.
becoming very common. So in those centers they got excellent result of treating the autoimmune disease, like some allergic reactions, asthma, and many other problem. They have treated through the fasting. So fasting is
Yeah.
also very important for autoimmune diseases.
Awesome. So we've talked a lot about fasting in the brain, but does it also affect our cardiovascular health?
That's a hard.
So cardiovascular health is very important topic, and also like the statistics will again will be like surprise you. Cardiovascular diseases are number one killer in the world.
Hmm.
Because of our modern lifestyle of like having less sleep on one side, our
Yeah.
sedentary lifestyle, sitting in the
Hmm.
offices or sitting in the classes if you're young people,
Yes.
not moving much,
Hmm.
and eating like fast food, consuming a lot of
Yes.
fast food, so always parties, a pizza, burger, and
Yes.
other stuff. And
Yeah.
so this is actually the modern kind of problem, and that actually putting the burden on our cardiac health. So as I
Yeah.
mentioned,
Hmm.
the cardiac health, like in Pakistan, we have almost half of the population suffering from hypertension, and hypertension actually lead to so many cardiovascular problems.
Yes.
So cardiovascular diseases are number one killer in the world. Around 33% of the death
Hmm.
happening around the world, they are due to the cardiovascular diseases, like due to the heart attack or due to the brain stroke. So these are the
Hmm.
complications. Just like brain love the ketone bodies,
Hmm.
similarly heart also love the ketone bodies.
Oh.
So one, like when we go towards fasting and we fast like for around 12 hours, then we deplete the glucose, and ketone bodies, they are actually manufactured in our system from our fats. So fats make the ketone bodies,
Hmm.
and our heart, they love the ketone bodies. So they consume those ketone bodies, and they have antioxidative properties. So
Hmm.
that actually refresh our heart. On the other side, we have the problem of high cholesterol. So cholesterol actually make our veins and arteries much harder. So we actually, that's why we have the blood pressure issues and other issues.
Hmm.
So one of the advantage of fasting on the other end is like we can lower the concentration of cholesterol in our body. So this is
Oh.
how, if we have to improve
Okay.
the pumping capacity of the heart on one side, we have to go towards fasting. And the
Yeah.
other side, like if we have to lower the cholesterol and many other like bad
Hmm.
proteins in our system, we can go towards fasting. So fasting is like
Awesome.
have many added advantages. One of like very beautiful thing about fasting is, there are toxins which accumulate in our bodies. So
Hmm.
there are like some misfolded proteins, just like there are so many brain disorders, they are due to the misfolded proteins. So they actually aggregate in our cells, and they
Yes.
distort the functions of those cells. And one of the beautiful mechanism that is actually initiated, that is called the autophagy, and there is also Nobel Prize that was given on discovering the
Yes.
mechanism of autophagy. So autophagy
Hmm.
is actually eating our cells. So when we go towards fasting, what happens, our cells which are weak, or there are proteins which are misfolded in our cells, so the autophagy mechanism starts. So
Oh.
actually those proteins which are misfolded and they are present in our cells and they are disturbing the cellular function, they are taken up by the cells. The toxin which are present in our body, they are removed by the by our system. So these all things are happening due to the fasting. So fasting is a
Oh.
powerful thing, which actually, if you have to remove the toxin from our brains, if you have to remove the toxins from our rest of the body, you have to detoxify yourself, or you are taking the detox, and that's through the fasting. So if you go towards fasting,
Okay.
you like improving, like much more you are going towards improving the cardiovascular health, as you have asked, and not only the cardiovascular health, but the toxins which are accumulated in our bodies, we can also remove those toxins if we go towards fasting.
Okay.
Oh.
So, does fasting also impact our immunity? Like, does it make us more immune to harmful diseases?
This is also a very interesting question, and I think it's really good that you have asked this question. This is also one of my favorite topics to talk. So immunity is very important. You know, there are so many diseases, just like we have passed through the COVID epidemic.
Yes.
So that's like that have lowered. One of the things was the stress. So stress has lowered our immunity.
Yes.
So what happens actually when we go? So immunity is a whole topic. So just let's talk about the fasting and immunity. So what happens? Just like I mentioned, when we go towards the fasting, there are so many actually our immune cells. These are the memory B cells and the T cells that are present. So whenever like we have some encounter with the pathogens, then these cells actually fight. So when these cells fight with those, so they get weak. So because they are fighting with the pathogens and they are staying in our body, so they get weak.
Yeah.
So when we go towards fasting, the mechanism of autophagy that actually speed up. So our body, they consume those cells. So what happens when we initially start fasting, the number of immune cells get lower, and people think that, oh, our immunity is getting weak. It's not that true. It's only those cells which are actually weak cells and they are burden on our bodies.
Yes.
They are being removed by the fasting. And
Oh.
later on, when you eat once again normal after like a month of Ramadan, then we get more and more, like on one cell we are getting the more stem cells that we discussed initially,
Yes.
and later on we are getting more immune cells. So you
Oh.
also boost your immunity, and you are
Okay.
in a like better. You can fight with so many diseases, like flu is a common illness that's common, and many other like infectious diseases which are common. So we can fight in a much better way if we go towards fasting.
Awesome.
Okay, so we've gained a lot of knowledge from
Yes,
you
exactly.
right now. I guess most of the youth didn't knew about all of this up till now, and like thank you so much for taking out time
Yes.
for us and for being here. It
Really means a lot, sir.
It was very informative. It was a very informative.
Yes, I specifically
Episode.
learned a lot. Like I did not know that fasting and sleep could like just help me lose some weight. So
Yeah.
yeah, we could definitely work
So
on
if
this.
I like summarize for all of you,
Yeah.
so actually what happens when you, so there is a research that says that fasting is safe, so it's like you shouldn't worry.
Yeah.
We have enough energy stored in our body so that we can utilize.
Hmm.
So when we go towards fasting, what happens? Our growth factors, they are secreted, so they start the regeneration process.
Yeah.
When we go towards fasting, the ketone bodies are made, which improve our brain health, which improve our cardiovascular health. So there's our goal. So we are depleting the cholesterol in our body. We are depleting the fats in our body. There are so many other ones. So we are also resting our intestine, which
Yeah.
are like all the time we are making them busy. So they
Yes.
also repair
Yes.
them very well. There is a study that says that the microbiota, the microbes that are in our intestine, so their number is also increased. The good microbes, they are like becoming more in numbers. We can repair our intestine, we can repair our immune system, we can repair our liver, we can repair our heart, we can repair our brain. So
Awesome.
this is, just like I mentioned, this is a complete health package, which is really beneficial for all of you. And I think after this program, many people who like bit lazy and not fasting,
Yeah,
they will
they'll
also.
start
Exactly.
And it's not only the month of fasting. You know, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him,
Peace be
and
upon him.
Sahaba Ikram, and even other prophets,
Yeah.
There is a known history that they used to fast even
Yes.
other than Ramzan.
Yes.
So, like in earlier tradition, fasting was common on 13, 14, and 15th of every month. So they
Oh.
used to fast. So it's not only, and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him,
Peace
he
be
also
upon
used to
him.
fast other than Ramzan. So
Hmm.
we should continue it. So it's
Yes.
like
I agree.
should.
want
Yes.
to. It's not only in the Ramzan, so we can have a lot of benefits
Yes.
in the Ramzan, but we can also have the benefits.
Exactly. Like it's not only good health-wise, but we'll also be getting sawab for that, right?
Yeah, definitely. So
Religious
today we
side.
talk
Yes.
about like much about the science, but on the other side, like Ramzan is, God says it's my month and I give the
Yes.
reward.
Yes.
So it's like we talk about the science, but there are so many spiritual benefits. We
Yes.
are earning so many nikya after
Yes.
like going towards fasting. So fasting is not only, so we talk about science because I'm a scientist, so we
Yes.
like I discuss about the scientific aspects, but there are so many like the religious scholars, they always like tell us about the spiritual aspects and
Exactly.
a lot of other benefits, the spiritual benefits, the
Yes.
empathy that we have, the emotional health we have. So
Yes.
there are so many benefits.
It
True.
is our favorite time of the year, right?
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Like Ramzan is
Our
my favorite month.
time. Yes.
So, I guess that's all for today. Dr. Aftab, thank you so much for taking out the time for us. And
Thank
it was an amazing experience having you here. You know, you telling us so much about fasting, the sciences. And honestly, it's just broadened our knowledge about this subject. And we hope we could come over again in the future. And we'd be more than happy to help you, to have
Yes.
you over here.
We're looking forward to learn a lot from you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
me here, and it was
Thank
lovely
you.
talking to you, and hopefully it will be beneficial for our audience as well.
Yes.
So I'll be
Thank
happy
you.
to like join again, and we'll discuss some other topics.